Welcome to everyone. It's such a privilege and an honor to be gathered today on the traditional territory of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, and Coquitlam peoples. I would like to invite Mr. Ming-Xuan Chung, who graduated this morning with a Bachelor of Science degree from the Faculty of Science, and he will lead us all in singing O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. I declare the Fall 2018 Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduands, and friends, I am Anne Giardini, Chancellor of Simon Fraser University. We are delighted and honored to have you join us for convocation. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests in the audience and on the platform, including members of Senate, vice presidents, deans, and faculty. I would like to acknowledge Mr. Thomas Butt, a member of SFU's Board of Governors, Dr. Judith Marcus, honorary degree recipient, Dr. Alison Gopnik, who will be conferred an honorary Doctorate of Science this afternoon, and our SFU alumni, legacy, parents, and families. Welcome to everyone. And thank you all for the patience you've shown for the construction we have going on campus. Behind the platform on my left will soon be the SFU Student Society's new student union building, devoted entirely to students with lounges and study areas, meeting rooms, and recreational facilities. And directly behind me, we see work going on the Public Plaza Renewal Project, which will improve accessibility and create more gathering places for all of us here at Simon Fraser University. I'm delighted to see you here to participate in or bear witness to this, our most important ceremony, a time when we gather to celebrate achievement, success, and the conferral of well-earned honors. Graduands, this is your day, and I, along with many others, could not be prouder. There are many reasons to tackle and complete a university degree, diploma, or certificate. For the facts and information, of course, your presence here today signifies that you have applied yourself to a challenging body of knowledge. And of course, for the chance to interact with keen thinkers and to engage with other students. And because this is an investment in yourself and in what you can bring to the world. The writer Dina Nayeri says, "A person's life is never a bad investment. There are no creditors at the door, no debt to repay. Now there is just the rest of life, the stories left to create, all the messy, greedy, ordinary days that are yours to squander." Another important and enduring reason for university education is that it encourages and rewards curiosity and supplies you with what is sometimes termed a well-stocked mind. I don't know if you learned this early on in your education, but you surely know it by now. As gratified as your SFU professor is when you earn an A, at least as important as that is when they see in you the spark of genuine curiosity about something in the course topic, and see your newly inspired curiosity leads you to becoming authentically engaged with a problem, challenge, or conundrum. Curiosity is one of life's more rewarding attributes. The effort of being curious pays dividends every day. If you're curious, you're seldom bored. Your thoughts are good company. Curiosity will lead you to form friendships and other bonds of great and enduring strength because you will be one of those marvelous people who is genuinely interested in others. And it turns out that people love it when you are interested in them. Try it now. Turn to the person next to you and say, "You are fascinating." Go ahead. I can guarantee you that they like you better already. And when you're curious, you are more likely to seek out and keep the kind of employment that encourages your curious mind, and that is employment well worth having. And curiosity will make up for any other lack of abilities. After all, we all have areas that are not our greatest strength. Even Albert Einstein was modest about his natural gifts, saying, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." And curiosity will make you a problem solver. Here's an example I found on the internet. Imagine you have a tiny piece of chalk, smaller than a pea, so small that there is only enough left to draw a line about a meter long. But your challenge is to use it to create a circle 50 meters across. You will be faced with problems like this all your life. How to stretch a finite budget, for example, or how to run a car on energy from hydrogen or from the sun, or how to persuade a team of people to work willingly and collaboratively late into the night. It turns out that there are many ways to use that fragment of chalk to form an enormous circle. You could, for example, drop it into a pond with enough force that a ripple spreads out 50 meters. Or you could use it to mark a circle in soft sand. Or you could make a dotted line for your circle with a dot every meter or so. And you, of course, being SFU graduates or about to be, will have many other solutions. One of the rewards of curiosity is a bit of a paradox. After a while, you will find that a course of inquiry doesn't take you down the road to a simple, satisfying, single answer that you'd hope to find, but to more questions to be asked. As the eminently quotable Dorothy Parker said, "The cure for boredom is curiosity. There is no cure for curiosity." Today, we engage collectively in an act of profound imagination as we invoke your future. This is the place and the moment when your transformation occurs from student to future you. And don't, by the way, let anyone tell you that this part of your life has not been real life. Your years as a student are as tangible, human, and as leafy with meaning as any you will experience in the days ahead. Because you are or about to become SFU grads, I have every confidence that you will flourish in the days ahead. You will be innovative. You will be attentive. You will be creative. You will find time to consider how this world might be changed for the better. You might well do something yourself, large or small, to help bring about much needed change. I hope that you will spend your time both profligately and wisely, and spend as many hours as possible in that productive, satisfying state of imagination that engenders the very best that you are capable of. Please stay in touch with those of us who will remain here at SFU. We are proud of you and grateful and changed and improved by this time that we have spent together. Thank you. I'd like to call on the president of our university, Professor Andrew Petter.
Thank you. Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty members, staff, and most especially, graduands, family, and friends. It is my privilege to preside at this culminating celebration of your education at Simon Fraser University. As this ceremony unfolds, our message to you is clear. As each of you receives your degree, I and my colleagues on stage, together with the entire Simon Fraser community, want you to know how proud we are of you. We've seen your work, we've admired your performance. Your degrees are not merely documents of accreditation, they're a living testament to the faith we have in your ability to flourish in a changing world. And that's a good ability to have, because the world is most assuredly changing. A recent Oxford University study estimated that 47% of current jobs will be automated out of existence over the next 20 years. When I attended university, lo, those many years ago, I was encouraged to believe that if I planned my career well, it would serve me for a lifetime. In today's dynamic world, the notion of a lifelong career is as outdated as many of the careers for which I might have planned. The need to plan one's future has been overtaken by the need to equip oneself for multiple futures, many of which are yet unknown. This point was driven home last spring at our annual SFU Public Square Community Summit, which explored the future of work. One of the main presenters was American political activist and commentator Van Jones. Jones had been thinking about different concepts of time, and he'd been looking at how our changing perceptions of time have affected our approaches to work. In the agrarian era, he noted, time was conceived of as circular. Life revolved around daily and seasonal cycles. The sun came up, the sun went down. Spring gave way to summer, which faded to fall and turned to winter, only to begin the cycle again. Tomorrow was the same as yesterday. In this era of circular time, Jones noted, the most important value for survival was preservation. Preservation of culture, of knowledge, of ritual, and most practically, the preservation of seeds. Then came the industrial age, a period of transformation and change. In this era, time became linear, the past behind you, the present with you, the future in front but still distant. Jones compared the industrial era to being on a train with the track ahead leading to a new destination. In this era, this unfolding environment, the key value for survival was planning. One could look ahead and prepare for a lifetime of well-ordered tomorrows. But the industrial era has given way to a digital era, in which Jones said the future is no longer content to wait as our plans unfold. Rather, Jones said, the future is onrushing. It's coming towards us at an ever-increasing speed, hastening changes that overwhelm our ability to plan. So today, the key value for survival is not preservation or planning, but rather adaptability, or as Jones calls it, the capacity to pivot. It's a compelling analysis, though I would argue that adaptability has always been an important attribute. There's a quote chiseled into the floor of the California Academy of Sciences in San Francisco that was originally attributed to Charles Darwin. It says, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change." It's a tribute to the California Academy's own adaptability that they've since rubbed out that mistaken attribution and given proper credit to Leon Megginson, a professor of management studies who wrote those words in 1963 as part of a reflection on Darwin's work. So how do you learn to be adaptable? Well, I'd argue that you choose to study at an institution like SFU. As Canada's engaged university, we've enabled you not only to gain knowledge of the disciplines you have studied, but also to think critically, to solve problems, and to make your own decisions. We've offered you diverse learning environments, including opportunities to study at 3 distinct campuses, to learn in the classroom and the community, and to gain intercultural understanding and international perspectives. In sum, your education has been all about equipping you with the knowledge, the aptitudes, and the experiences required to be adaptable citizens and to thrive in a rapidly changing world. As you embark now from this stage of your education, as you embrace a future in which you are likely to have multiple careers, you will need to continue learning and updating your skills. Thanks to your education here, you will do so based on a strong foundation. You can also welcome the future as members of an adaptable community of over 155,000 SFU alumni living in 141 countries around the world. And when you need to upgrade your knowledge and skills, when you confront issues outside the scope of your expertise, we at SFU will be here for you. So stay in touch. In the years to come, the relationships that you formed in your time here with friends and colleagues with faculty and mentors will serve you better than any single lesson. But for now, this is your time, so seize it with confidence and with optimism. Share it generously with those you love, and just as generously with those who don't have your advantages. We will only survive in this changing world if we can all adapt and flourish together. Congratulations, all.
SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor conferred by the university. Honorary degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of exceptional contribution to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Honorary degree recipients' achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration and as a role model to our students, graduates, and communities. The honorary degree will now be conferred. To present the honorary degree candidate, Dr. Alison Gopnik, I'm very pleased to welcome Dr. Lucy Lemaire. Dr. Lemaire is a professor in the Faculty of Education, the current Director of Graduate Studies in Education, and a Director of the Center for Research on Early Child and Health Education here at Simon Fraser University. Dr. Lemaire.
Madam Chancellor, I'm honored to present Dr. Alison Gopnik, an internationally recognized leader in the study of cognitive science who has revolutionized the way we understand the development of children's thinking and learning. A professor of psychology and affiliate professor of philosophy at the University of California, Berkeley, Dr. Gopnik was one of the first researchers in the field of theory of mind, studying how children come to understand their own minds and later formulating the theory, the idea that children have intuitive theories and use many of the same learning mechanisms as scientists. Her broccoli goldfish study was groundbreaking in showing that children as young as 18 months old are able to anticipate and respond to the desires of others, even when those desires are different from their own. More recently, she has focused on probabilistic models and how Bayesian or mathematical inference can be applied to early learning, emphasizing the value in studying how children learn causal relationships. Dr. Gopnik, who received her BA from McGill University and her PhD from Oxford University, has authored or co-authored over 100 journal articles. Her seminal books include The Philosophical Baby and The Gardener and the Carpenter, both titles winning the Cognitive Development Society Best Book Prize in 2009 and 2016, respectively. An elected member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences and the American Association for the Advancement of Science, Dr. Gopnik's TED Talk has been viewed more than 3 million times, and she has appeared regularly on TV and radio programs, including The Charlie Rose Show and The Colbert Report. Her wide-ranging achievements have been honored by academic societies such as the Society of Experimental Psychologists and the Cognitive Science Society. The depth of her research, her passionate valuation of the minds of children, and her commitment to principles of discovery have made Dr. Gopnik a renowned figure in her field. Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of this university, I ask that you now confer upon Alison Gopnik the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Ready? I'm ready.
Alison Gopnik, by honor of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Dr. Alison Gopnik will be hooded by Dr. Wade Parkhouse, Vice Provost and Associate Vice President Academic, and Ms. Romana Ken-Hamani, Registrar and Executive Director of Student Enrollment.
Congratulations. It is with great pleasure that I now call on Dr. Alison Gopnik for her convocation address. Dr. Gopnik.
Well, let me begin by thanking you all so much for this very great and profound honor. I'm so happy to be here today, partly because today's event puts together three things that I love dearly, and I think probably all of you in this room love dearly. Canada and everything that Canada stands for, the Pacific Coast, the beautiful place where we are now, and most of all, young children and the remarkable and largely unsung people who care for them. I actually grew up in Canada. I went to university at McGill, and I was a faculty member at the University of Toronto before I moved to the university we think of as Simon Fraser South, namely the University of California at Berkeley. And the values of Canadian culture and Canadian universities in particular, like Simon Fraser, have really shaped both my career and my life. And I think those values, which have shaped the lives of all the graduates here and many of their friends and family, are more important now than they've ever been before. And one of the things that I hope all of the graduates sitting here will do is take those values and bring them to the rest of the world, which could use some Canadian kindness, decency, and humor, that distinctive Canadian sense of social responsibility, that sense of a welcoming community that integrates people from different traditions, from different backgrounds, a genuine global community that welcomes and includes everyone. That's something that comes from Canada. That's something that all of you who are in this room, the graduates here, can have imbibed in your time at Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser is a wonderful example of exactly that Canadian nurturance and inclusion. And I very much hope that through not only to Canada, but to the rest of the world. Now, in addition to those Canadian values, I should mention other profound, important Canadian values that should be spread to the world, namely hockey, smoked meat, poutine, and Smarties. And you may not know that I have actually been doing my bit to spread these to the rest of the world. In fact, this year, my son opened Augie's Montreal Deli, which is actually run by the entire family in Berkeley, where we brought smoked meat and poutine, at least, as well as Smarties to California for the first time, not to mention hockey. Our slogan for the restaurant is, "We're Canadian, eh?" So our hope is that if you bring smoked meat to benighted countries, then the rest of Canadian values will follow. Simon Fraser combines these values with another set of values that have shaped me too, and also will shape the people in this room in particular. And those are the values of the Pacific Coast, the values of the West Coast where we are now. And Simon Fraser combines that deep Canadian sense of social responsibility and nurturance and community with that really distinctive Pacific Coast tradition of restless exploration, creativity, innovation, all the things that make the West Coast so distinctive. That tradition even of eccentricity, the tradition of seekers and seers on the West Coast, from Emily Carr to David Suzuki, that sense that we have on the West Coast that anything is possible and the sky and the frontier is the limit. I would point out that at Augie's Deli, we actually do a West Coast fusion smoked meat, apple, walnut, and microgreen salad, which we think of as being very West Coast, and it's definitely a heretical deviation from the Gospel of Schwartz's that we started out with. Now, those two sets of values that you've imbibed in your time here at Simon Fraser, on the one hand, nurturance, kindness, a sense of community, social inclusion, and on the other hand, exploration, creativity, innovation, individualism, those might at first appear to be in tension with one another. But actually, studying young children's minds reveals that it's the combination of these two sets of values, the combination that the West Coast of Canada exemplifies, that's actually the secret to human learning, discovery, and progress, whether you're thinking about a university like Simon Fraser, or you're thinking about a preschool, or you're thinking about the whole rest of your life. Now, for a long time, young children and the people who took care of them didn't get much respect. And in fact, people often, to this day, treat young children as if they're sort of defective versions of adults, actually much like the way that people treated and thought of chimpanzees before Jane Goodall came along. But in fact, cognitive science has shown us that young children are the best learners in the universe. And in the most recent work we've been doing in my lab, we've shown that young children are designed to explore and innovate, play and create. And if you give children tasks that require exploration, creativity, innovation, they often actually do better on those tasks. They're better at exploring and creating than grown-ups do. And there's actually a principled reason for this. If you look throughout the animal kingdom, there's a really striking correlation between how long a childhood a species has, how long a period of protected immaturity the species has, and how large their brains are, how good they are at learning, how intelligent they are. We humans have the longest immaturity, the longest childhood of any species. Chimps are producing as much food as they're consuming by the time they're 7. Even in forager communities, human children aren't doing that till they're 15. My son is 30, and I imagine some of the parents in the audience will also have a sense of the fact that we're still paying tuition and taking care of our children for an even longer time. But there's a reason for that, and that reason is that childhood gives human beings a protected space in which they can explore and innovate, think of new ideas and create without the immediate pressures of survival, without having to deal with the everyday world around them. So young children, preschoolers, are the best example of that. Preschoolers just do that spontaneously. We take care of them, they go out, they explore, they pretend, they play, they create. But what universities really do is to provide a kind of preschool for grown-ups. So what universities do is provide another kind of space in which you're free to explore, create, innovate, think of new ideas, deal with a changing environment. And the reason why you can do that is because you have this nurturing, protective, inclusive society and community that surrounds you, including all the friends and family who are in this room now. So this evolutionary strategy that's made us human has two parts. It has the part about exploring, creating, finding out new things, and it also has the part about nurturing and caring and passing on past traditions. So the nurturing, supportive community that we see that is part of a family or a community or a university or part of the supportive community that we see here, a country even like Canada, that nurturing, supportive community allows us to pass on each generation's knowledge and values to the next generation, knowing full well that that next generation will completely alter and transform and rewrite those values. That's something that Simon Fraser has been doing since its very beginning, since its very inception. It's part of the DNA of this university in particular, and I think it should be part of the DNA of any university. What we do as parents, as teachers, as a community, is not to try to shape the next generation to come out a particular way. What we need to do is to provide the love and commitment of the proverbial village to actually enable every child, every student, to grow up to do their own unique, unprecedented thing, to make their own contribution to the world. And this day when you're all graduating, is a day when I hope you'll all go out into the world with both of those sets of values. You'll go out into the world exploring, creating, dealing with change, but you'll also go out into the world creating a new, nurturing, supportive environment for the next generation to come along. It takes the proverbial village to raise every child, and you can hope that that village extends beyond just the family in the village to the university, a province, a country, and let's hope at least someday an entire world. Thank you very much again for this honor, and congratulations to all of my fellow graduates and fellows here.
Thank you, Dr. Gopnik, for that inspiring address. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of convocation, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we're pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch you on your new role as alumni of SFU. Mr. Robert Weston received a Bachelor of Arts in Commerce and Economics in 1978. He's also currently the Vice President of the SFU Alumni Association. I invite Mr. Weston to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduands. Robert?
Thank you very much, President Petter. Madam Chancellor? On behalf of your elected SFU Alumni Association Board, I extend my congratulations to you all. You are now lifetime members of our SFU alumni community, a worldwide network that is now more than 155,000 strong in over 141 countries. Your relationship with SFU transforms now as your journey continues. We are here to help you expand your personal and professional network through local, national, and international events, and to support your success through offering access to career resources, library services, and many value added. Our goal is to have you serve as engaged alumni, helping advance and enhance the student experience for our future graduates, and serving as ambassadors of SFU in your communities. As you cross the stage today, I'll present you with an alumni pin. Wear it as a symbol of your incredible achievement and connection to SFU. Be proud of your accomplishments, be proud of your SFU connection and credential, and thank you all for investing your time, energy, and talents in this great university. Congratulations again, and welcome to the SFU Alumni Association.
Thank you, Robert. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Ms. Cindy Peake, a member of the graduating class, will address convocation. Sydney is graduating with a Bachelor of General Studies in Education with minors in Early Learning, Learning and Developmental Disabilities, and Curriculum and Instruction. She was an NCAA athlete on SFU's varsity swim team and an active volunteer with the SFU Education Student Association, Athletes in Action, and the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Sydney has worked as an educational assistant in a preschool and volunteered as a peer mentor with the Faculty of Education. She's currently completing her teaching certificate through SFU's Professional Development Program with plans to become a kindergarten teacher in the future. It's now my pleasure to call upon Ms. Sydney Peake for the graduand address. Sydney?
Welcome, everyone. I just want to start off with a thank you to President Petter, Madam Chancellor, distinguished faculty and staff, and my fellow graduates. Most importantly, thank you to everyone that's sitting here in our audience for sharing in the success represented here today. Lastly, thank you for the opportunity to stand up here and share my experiences at SFU. Initially, I was a little bit overwhelmed when I was asked to come and stand and speak on stage. You see, I'm one of those future teachers who's absolutely terrified of public speaking to an audience that is in a classroom of 5-year-olds. To be honest, I tried to get out of it. I felt like I was a pretty normal student with pretty normal achievements. I did not really think that I deserved to be on this stage speaking on behalf of my fellow graduates. However, when I was writing this, I found myself wondering how many of my peers have downplayed their success of walking across this stage today. When you enter university, more often than not, you have an end goal. I knew that I wanted to be a teacher from the moment I left high school, but why? A lot of my ideas and understandings about myself were created and molded by the people around me. I was not given the opportunity to think for myself. It was clear that there was a path that was right and a path that was wrong, and I wanted to make sure that I was following in line with what everyone else told me to do. I didn't want to stray or wander. University is much different from high school if you didn't know that. For most of us, this was our first real time that we had to think for ourselves. Professors and advisors were not responsible to keep us accountable with our homework, our grades, or our decisions. There was no one really to hold our hand throughout the process. A lot of us had preconceived ideas and beliefs about who we were individually and what society was as a whole. These were significantly challenged and overturned in the process of post-secondary schooling. At SFU, we are free to make our own stories. You can think for yourself, you can build your own future, you can make your own decisions. Every moment, good or bad, has brought us here to this stage. We all need to take a deep breath and realize that what we have endured has created the people we are today. And SFU has been an integral part in developing our agency and has empowered us to go out into this world and be great global citizens. Each of us on stage has a story of success, something to be proud of, something we have accomplished. It's only fair that you give yourself a pat on the back for every decision, good or bad, that you have made that has led you to this spot. We have all learned a lot about the world and ourselves through these years at SFU, and now it's our turn to challenge the world around us. We need to be critical about the way the world works and be aware of our gifts and successes and how we can use our stories to empower and encourage those around us. As I conclude this speech, I would like for everyone to think for a second of what this day truly means for you. As friends and family of these graduates, how will you encourage, support, and love them as they mesh out their futures? For the faculty and staff of SFU, how will your shared experiences with these students shape your future relationships with students, staff, and the world? Lastly, graduates, how will you choose to make your mark on this world? Class of 2018, once again, thank you, and best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thanks, Sydney. Thanks very much. Thank you, Sydney. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? Pretty good-looking group, don't you think? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university, and I request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are now recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. The graduands may now be seated.
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor, but first a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of degrees has been conferred? This does not apply to the conferral of doctoral degrees, and obviously we can't forbid spontaneous outbursts of enthusiasm. And we wouldn't want to. As a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. Would the graduates please return to your seats following receipt of your degrees? However, we'd ask doctoral graduates to please join your colleagues on the platform. The degrees in the Faculty of Education and Faculty of Environment will now be conferred. Madam Chancellor, Dr. George Agnes, Associate Dean, Graduate Studies, will announce the names of the students who are earning graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Education. The graduates will be hooded by their accompanying faculty supervisor, or Dr. Chris Magnuson, Dean of the Faculty of Education. Maylan Ellert. Dr. Ellert will be hooded by her supervisor, Dr. Danielle Moore. Dr. Arlene Spracklin will be hooded by her supervisor, Dr. Danielle Moore. Please. Mark Hawkins. Dr. Hawkins. Shannon Leddy. Dr. Leddy will be hooded by her supervisor, Dr. Susan O'Neill. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Education in the Faculty of Education. Zul Kanji. Dr. Kanji is being hooded by his senior supervisor, Dr. Michelle Pigeon. Christine Scholander. Dr. Scholander. Raymond Yu. Congratulations, Dr. Yu. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Environment. The graduates will be hooded by their accompanying faculty supervisor, or Dr. David Burley, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Environment. Please. Ryan Bradley. Dr. Bradley will be hooded by his supervisor, Dr. Jeremy Vendetti. Travis Freeland. Dr. Freeland. Lynn Lee. Dr. Lee will be hooded by her senior supervisor, Dr. Ann Solomon. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degree in the Faculty of Education. Please. Amanda Catalon. Carly Degenstein. Matthew Gendron. Edmund Kilpatrick. Victoria Lamb. Emma McFarlane. Hollis Owens. Erica Anderson. Michael Atkinson. Maria Barahona Farega. Sorry. Raman Bedi. Leah Benabo. Stevie Benish. Rhonda Benke. Mark Bigger. Jeremy Boudreau. Yvonne Brennanman. Nava Bruce. Krista Cameron. Tyne Campbell. Trevor Cheng. Bradley Christensen. Cami Clark. Grant Colgate. Sean Corbett. Anne-Marie Cote. Angela Crocker. Ashley Faye Davidson. Jody Dawkins. Sylvia DeVries. Mary D. Laurel. Inarvis Diaz Ruiz. Shannon Duke. Carly Dyer. Noli Eastmuir. Jolene Elder. Sorry. Robin Erickson. Nelia Evans. Darcy Flather. Melody Fluck. Adam Fox. Nancy Gaba. Christine Germano. Sylvie Goddell. Todd Goodman. Renee Gregerson. Aaliyah Griffin. Daniela Guerrero Rodriguez. Nazim Gulaham Hussein. Elizabeth Golestani. Ashley Gushu. Jazz Hallen. Kendra Hallstrom. Nicole Halverson. Sarah Hogland. Bianca Henderson. Melanie Haynen. Peggy Haynen. Ryan Hong. Emily Hood. Jennifer Jacobson. Amin Jamou. Christopher Jansen. Golda Jansen. Thank you. Heather Yohal. Yolanda Cornelson. Amelia Laidlaw. Ann Lardner. Helen Laycock. Su Young Lee. Allison Liddicoat. Amanda Long. Sharon Lowe. Jeffrey Lynch. Carmen Line. Nathan McDonald. Taryn McDonald. Joel Mott. Karen McKinnon. Michelle McLeod. Allison McCrae. Angela Markakis. Jessica Marshall. Bridget Martins. Cassandra McGinnis. Monique McKee. Riley McMitchell. Douglas McCrae. Naz Tasha Mall. Carolyn Morris. Nicole Muir. Megan Murden. Melissa Newdorf. Punreet Niger. Anita Olson. Sydney Pankratz. Joanne Perret. Anita Patik. Leanne Pruner. Kimberly Ramsey. Darcy Reed. Dawn Robinson Howie. Kent Rockwell. Trevor Rosenkrantz. Tina Sato. Sukhvirinder Sadhu. Jasneet Sawa. Anna Schachner. Paul Self. Jennifer Semenoff. Judith Shabtai. Rowan Schaefer Rickles. Tammy Lynn Shilvok. Chelsea Shinkarik. Lindsay Schuster. Nicholas Sersky. Heather Skoos. Roberta Smith. Alona Sidorenko. Shavinder Tagger. Fiona Hoyan Tam. Annette T. Struti. Carolyn Thomas. Andrea Todd. Shelby Tay. Cassandra Timochenko. Alana Underwood. Catherine Vahama. Teresa Tree Walsh. Alexis Wardle. Craig Wardle. Adina Warren. Michael Western. Neva Winters. Anna Williams. Xiaoneng Zan. Catherine Zrum. Elizabeth Baldwin. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the students who have completed the requirements for graduate diplomas and certificates in the Faculty of Education. Gurpreet Sian. Agnes Chorian. Suzanne Gravel. Megan Hardy. Lace Katalwi. Yannicka Peters. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Environment. Samantha Thompson. Maggie Cascadezin. Taylor Grownwood. Amy McGowan. Danny Ross. Kurt Fry.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Dr. Chris Magnuson, will now announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Education in the Faculty of Education. Abby Aguilar. Amandeep Akalire. Mark Odette. Tasha Bardal. Emma Barnes. Katrina Bates. Carla Berzowski. Ben Berg. Jagrup Boulard. Kate Brufton. Exilia Burns. Bertha Chapman. Tess Charbonneau. Haisun Cho. Vivian Chung. Mariah Chaburi. Chelsea Klo. Era Cockram. Aaron Chan. Alexandra Connor. Camille Correa. Megan Cronin. Shugaya Daneshvand. Carmen Dhaliwal. Simrandeep Dhaliwal. Sunny Dhaliwal. Valroop Danoa. Dalvir Dillon. Leila Dianati. Rebecca Dieppe. Grisham Dosanjh. Ramandeep Dosanjh. Claire Douglas. Riley Dueck. Tracy Dykeman. Jessica Ehrenholtz, Monica Elford, Leah Esplin, Rebecca Fredrickson, Ali Ginther, Christina Graham, Ryan Grimsey, Taryn Grubb, Sydney Hajiavdic, Amana Halim, Wes Hammer, Desiree Hatt, Andrea Heinrichs, Danielle Hirschmiller, Sevilla Ho, Darby Huckle, Jeff Cow, Gerline Clare, Amelia Coble, Gurjut Kuhner, Sarah Cross, Leonie Kwijgenhoven, Miranda Kyle, Danica Lapierre, Rochelle Litt, Dina Louie, Crystal McInnes, Hannah Mackey, Laura Mann, Amanda Martin, Whitney Masters, Jordan McDonough, Dustin McLaughlin, Mallory McMillan, Kaylee Mitchell, Mitchell Mogensen, Aliette Mora, Carly Monroe, Heather Murray, Rochelle Nansen, Casey Nersessian, Colleen Newton, Stephanie Nichols, Nella Nisatio, Lauren O'Brien, Danielle Paye, Darian Pang, Irie Park, Katarzyna Presetepa, Sabeha Ramji, Yingying Ren, Nicholas Rogavine, Sunana Samra, Nicole Sampson, Sharondeep Sandal, Sonam Santu, George Sokolovic, Kevin Shen, Esther Shin, Madeline Shon, Jajmeet Sidhu, Megan Sla, Stephen Spaniolo, Holly Steinson, Lee Stevens, Mark Stewart, Cecile Stile, Jennifer Silt Swanell, Dunel Slovichuk, Darcy Teal, Nicole Tennant, Chanel Tour, Hadidatu Toure, Jeffrey Trampleasure, Jenny Tran, Jody Vance, Giuliano Vina, Samantha Viss, Courtney Vorma, Kim White, Fiona Wu, Ashley Yarrow, Katrina Young, Nicholas Yuen, Oliviera Zimokiko, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of General Studies in the Faculty of Education. Delia Andor, Gurtaj Bahad, Erica Battle, Tiana Cariotti, Sydney Clerkson, Caitlin Dorcas, Jennifer Huang, Michael Ip, Chafu Cheng, Eric Key, Kinsey C.U. Lee, Joanne Lindahl, Bridget Lucando, Rupinder Nahal, Sydney Clausen, Maria Camila Ponce, Nicole Ryan, Puneet Sikone, Brianne Smith, Michelle Tour, Takuya Umeki, Yihang Yin, Shengji Zheng, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the student who has completed the requirements for a diploma in the Faculty of Education, Abhinash Sidhu.
Madam Chancellor, the Associate Dean of the Faculty of Environment, Dr. David Burley, will announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Environment. Monique Abassi, Charlotte Bailey, Pamajo Batia, Wesley Chow, Ian Cheng, Bethany Collins, Madison Ebner, Gabriel Guzzo, Madeline Lamer, Felicia Marie Laron, Agnes Lee, Emily Leffler, Christopher Macbeth, Ross Mitchell, Wentao Ni, Neil Payne, Nikolai Rambo, Shaya Sandhu, Puraz Shirsad, Kasina Trechakova, Rebecca Wickington. Serena Yang. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Environment in the Faculty of Environment. Brandy Shebiwat Boyd. Shan Sun Huang. Yun Jin. Kayla Stefaniak. Zijun Wang. Theodore Sang. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Environment. Sarah Carlson. Robert Ellert. Ryan Yeager. Cicely Oldenburg. Sophie Emily Roth. Catherine Ryan. And Aaron Walchuk.
Will the graduating class please rise? I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends, family, and members of the platform to join me in applauding the amazing graduating class of Fall 2018. Now, let's not forget all those who helped you to get here. I invite the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding your family, friends, faculty, and staff, indeed all those who helped you to achieve your goal. Please be seated.
My friends, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some of the graduates recommended by the Senate for degrees today have been unable to be present, and their names have therefore not been read out, but I do now hereby admit them to their appropriate degrees as shown in the program. I have a few thank yous to express. First, of course, to all of you for joining us on this celebratory day. Second, to the very many volunteers, staff, and faculty members coordinated by Ceremonies and Events Office and Student Services who worked together to run a smooth convocation afternoon, and they're the ones that made sure it didn't rain this afternoon, so we owe them a special thanks. And, of course, to the members of our six-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band for their contribution to convocation. They will be performing for us again. Let's thank them all. Although the formal part of this convocation is over, you are all now invited to attend a reception in the James Douglas Room behind the platform. I ask that you kindly rise as you are able and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed. Thank you all.